So it's about 6 o'clock in the morning, it's -3 on hopefully what will be a nice day, and I'm off to go and look at the chassis that I've bought. I'm not quite ready to collect it yet, and I still need to do a little bit of reorg in the bracket factory, but I am at least going to go and pick up the parts mounter that come with it, and I've also got my tape measure, and I'm going to do a few critical measurements that will hopefully answer quite a few questions I've got.
That was fantastic because it gave our trip a sense of purpose.
It gives you an element of hope.
Yeah, I mean, and that there are people working from the Secretary of State.
Well, he did apologise for the situation. More visibility out there for some of us. That mist and fog should clear gradually.
Leaders who can speak with both leaders, President Trump.
Can't beat a cheese and Marmite panini. So here we are, I have reached my destination and this is the car. So as you can see, it has got lots of boxes of parts all over it. So I think the first thing we're going to do is to load up the parts and see the wood for the trees. So the chassis has been cleared of stuff and we can see the wood for the trees, so let's have a look at the trees. So here it is, quite a substantial chassis, and that is quite a big gearbox. That's the pre-selector, I think, and the chassis is pretty chunky. That's a good 6 inches box section, it's all quite promising. So here's the engine, and it's got no head on it, but here are the heads, or head, well, it looks like 2 heads, which are quite meaty lumps. So one of the critical measurements that I wanted to get was the width of the chassis rails. So looking at it, it's 23 inches between that rail and that rail. It's also fairly important for me to know in terms of fitting the engine in. But all this stuff is great. This steering column, steering box, all the linkages, steering wheel. How cool is that? The brake mechanism. It's all very, very cool, and actually bigger. This is all the brake mechanism here, pulleys, well, not pulleys, levers and rods, all in really nice condition. Quite like that diff as well. I'm not sure it's going to take the torque, but I do like it. So all very promising stuff. So back on the road now after a pretty successful mission. It was really good to have a much closer look at the chassis, take a few measurements, and I'm actually reassured by what I saw. Particularly reassured by the size of the chassis and how beefy it all is, how strong it all looks. Also how complete it all is. All the brake linkage and all the bits and bobs, all the suspension. I've also got a carload of parts, and it's not even all the parts. Couldn't fit all the parts in, and my car takes quite a lot of parts. And you're probably wondering how on earth I'm going to fit all these into the bracket factory, and I'm also thinking that myself. So I think what I'm going to do is go back to the ranch, sort it all out, and create a pile that I will then take down to Brian at Oak Swamp, because I'm pretty sure he can make use of a lot of these parts. Right, back at the bracket factory, the sun's shining, so it's time for a bit of a reorg. Hello, this is the aspiring racing driver. Can you? What's your name?
Natalie Beadsmore.
Natalie Beadsmore. Are you ready for the race? Oh yeah. So this is the Lotus 47. I've never really talked about this much. 1967 Group 4 racing car, as raced by Jim Morley successfully. I'll talk about this more sometime, but not at the moment. Quick peek inside. There it goes. Bit cramped. Not much space between the wheel and the windscreen. Smells right. Smells about 1968, I reckon. While it's out, we'll have a quick look around it. Hasn't started for a few months, so lots of popping and banging, but it was alright in the end. So it's going to go back inside in a minute, but there it is, bells and whistles and everything. So we had a bit of a reorg there, and this is what we've got. Here we have the big American France. Here we have the rag Austin 7, and here we've got a dirty great big space. A chassis, well, it's plenty long enough for the chassis. I'm going to have a good 6 foot to spare, I would have thought, which is just as well because I have bought something else to be revealed. I've done a bit of David Copperfield with the cars. You can see the Lola there, the Lotus has disappeared. So what I'm going to do now is got a nice big space here. You can see I've got one tyre. I'm going to fill up this space with all of the other bits that I've collected, and I think we'll have a bit of a rummage through. Right, so I seem to have turned my garage into a store from Bewley, and these are all of the things that came with the chassis, boxes of stuff, wheels, but I've not even opened that box. I've not opened that box. I don't know what's in there. I don't know what's in there. So it's not even all of them. There's still more to get. So let's have a quick sneak peek and see what's in some of these boxes, shall we? Right, first up is a black bin liner with an inner tube. It's a big inner tube. And what is this? It's quite heavy. Tubes, inner tubes. All good, apparently. Okay, so I'll take your word for it. Right, what else we got? Oh, it's a gauge of some description. Ammeter, okay. Bulbs. Ooh, that's quite nice. It's a clock. Very nice. Don't know what that is. The remains of something. The remains of some kind of clock, I think. The remains of another clock. Hopefully there's something good in here. Oh, this looks nice. Wow, that is nice. That's a very nice clock. A nice Smith's. Looks very pre-war, doesn't it, that? This looks interesting. Wow, some kind of weird combined clock. Jaeger. Amps, oil, water, fuel. That is very fancy, isn't it? See what the date on the newspaper is. 1993. Okay, so that's been in there a while. Ooh, another very old Speedo. Oh, I like that. That is cool, isn't it? Very cool. Very cool indeed. That might go on the car. Some kind of gauge, another gauge with sender. Water, US, petrol. Okay. Again, very, very old. Not sure what these are. These look like windscreen wiper things. Not sure. What's that? No. I don't know. Do you know what that is? Let me know. Oil pressure gauge. Another one. Oh God. Not E20. Whatever that means. Smith's. Looks very old. Do you know what year that is? Anybody? And this is an air gauge. And that, I don't even know what it is. What is that? What is that? It says something oil filter, clean every 1,500 miles. Never seen one of those. So anyway, if you know what it is, let me know. So we'll have a look in that box, and this here is a rather splendid radiator cow, which is in superb condition and is massive. Not sure if I'm going to use it, but it is lovely. In here we've got the remains of all manner of seats. Oh no, we've got about 1,000,000 miles of wire in there. That looks like a loom. There's the original rad. October 07. It looks like it's being reconditioned. It's protected. Another box. Let's have a look in here, shall we? Right, what's in here? Split flex tubing. More of it. More wire, cable. A piston ring compressor. Various other weird bits and bobs. For dipstick. Okay. What does that say? Daimler Special Tools. So this is full of Daimler Special Tools. I've no idea what any of these are. Another special tool. Right, let's look at another box. Right, this one's marked very careful, valves, etc., engine parts. I've not been in here. Would have thought you need to be more careful about the gauges. Just going to move this. Oh, there are gauges. More gauges. Right, what's under here? Push rods, cam followers, valves, there's a rocker shaft here, rocker assembly. That all looks quite good. It looks like it's bent. It's not. It's two assemblies attached to a piece of wood. Farley's rusks. What's in here? Ooh! Big valve springs and collets. I am a sucker for an engine, so I might actually get the engine running. That's quite good. That means I can rebuild the engine. Right, this is the next one. Let's have a look at this. Blimey. Gauge cluster, complete with hammerite. You can't get that anymore, not like that anyway. Wow, look at that. Isn't that fancy? Wowee. I like that. I do like that. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to use it, but I do like it. Next mystery box. What's inside? A big sheet of rubber. Okay. Oh, another gauge. Taco. It's quite nice. That's not unlike the one that I got for the American La France. Daimler, blah blah blah, main cap, main shells. Yeah, it's exactly what it says on the tin. You don't need to look at that. This is a big biscuit tin. What's in here? Ooh, more bits of engine, more valves. I'm not quite sure why I need more valves, but there are two heads with it, I suppose. Unusual lid. Big lump of rubber. More rubber. This is rubbery. Hardy Spicer. Oh, it is a genuine Hardy Spicer couplings. Little spiders. What's in the box? Pulleys. What's that? Extra link cam chain maybe. Hub bearings. Is that a fancy coil bracket? If it is, I like it. I like it a lot. All manner of aluminium brackets. Timing chain. Okay, so it's all jolly good stuff. Put it back in the box. Right, moving around, we've got a couple of wheels. Looks like we've got two alternators slash dynamos, one in a bag. Various bits of interior trim. Oh, looks very original. Again, I don't think I'm going to be using that. I've got Mystery towel. Might cut that open. And I've got another big box, so let's have a look in this big box. So what is this? Scissors. I need scissors. Still don't know what it is. Oh, it's some kind of seat, some kind of seat stuff. All that trouble. Right, let's have a look in the box. Right, I think this is a windscreen wiper doodah, rod, whatever you want to call it. What else is in here? Ooh, that is very nice, isn't it? Look at that. Nice big pre-war H4 carb. Lovely job. Quite nice to have a few of those on the American of France. Very nice indeed. Not sure what that is. Probably gasket template. Coil, very old looking coil. Fuel pump, it's nice. Bit like the one on the American of France, except in much better condition. Looks like it's had a repair to it there, look. Wiper motor, jars full of stuff. Spare bulbs, cables, feeler gauge, condensers, fuses, another gauge, speedo, another gauge, speedo, a lot of gauges, another gauge in there, temperature, fuel gauge in there, very Art Deco, square, Smiths. This says klaxon on it, so does that mean klaxon? I don't know. Is that a horn? I suppose it is. Well, I'd quite like to test that. And these must be some like grab handles or something. So quite a few interesting things in that box. What's this? Don't know. Do you know what it is? It's bent by the looks of it. Anyway, what's this? One more thing. A switch. A very nice switch indeed as well. Cool. So, lots more interesting things in there. Let's go to the next box. Right, let's see what's in these two boxes. Two more steering wheels. I mean, I've already got one steering wheel on the car, so I'm not quite sure why I need three, but hey ho. This is the number plate. MSV 953. All manner of dash panels. Don't know whether they're off different cars or what. More gauges. Right, here we have distributor, coil, an HT lead rail. It's quite nice. I'll need that if I want to start the engine. Looks like it's just been chopped out of a car. Wiper motor, two more horns. Right, let's have a look in this box. It's my fan and fan pulley. Ah! This is not a mixing bowl. This is a headlamp bowl. What a whopper that is. Quite like that actually. That might go on the car. If I can find another one, that is. Don't know if I've got another one. Various pull cables for chokes and what have you. Daimler sun visors. Diff oil. I'm not going to open that. But that, you know where that's going, don't you? That's going down to Brian at Oak Swamp. He's having that. He drinks this stuff. What's in the bag? Wrapped in newspaper. Oh, another wiper motor with a chain drive in it. Look at that. Wiring clips, various clips. Nice clips. This is in, what's this? The Welding and Jointing Society enrolment form. I might join that. 1996. Quite a long time ago. A couple more things. What's this? Oh, big box. What's in there? HD leads and caps and 2 distributors. That looks like that's a 4-cylinder distributor. That's not off this, because this is a 6-cylinder. Don't know what they are. And finally, this says water pump, so I'm guessing it's probably a water pump. Wow, look at that. That is quite a thing, isn't it? Look at that. It's a very pretty thing. Wow, been completely refurbed by the looks of it. It's a beauty, isn't it? Absolute beauty. Again, I won't be using it. Lots of little spanner, especially for it. Little ground down spanner, look for adjusting it. Must be for getting in there. Yeah, there you go. That's very nice, that. I like that. Right, let's put it all away and go to the next box. Right, this little box on top of here it's another carb. Let's have a look at this, shall we? Wow. Another H4. Really nice, isn't it, that? Beautiful. Cool. Only need 4 more. Want to have 6 on American France. Because I like a tuning challenge. Looks like various some kind of swirl pot. Not sure. Another part of the cooling system, possibly. These look like headlamp brackets. Other brackets. Ooh, that's some kind of, that must be the spare wheel. That must be the spare wheel retaining cover, I'm thinking. Various nice brass bits. Might end up using some of those. Right, let's have a look in that box. Looks like lots of little boxes of little bits, or boxes of little bits. Small parts for instruments. Yeah. Small parts for instruments. Lots and lots of instruments and gauges and what have you. Spare clock mechanism. Shoebox. What's in here? All manner of latches. Door latches, what have you. Jars. Daimler water pump glands. Worn instruments. Blimey, look. Loads. More instruments than I can shake a stick at. Anything else in here? Just more parts, switches, tubs, spare clock mechanism, wind up. Spare back plates off something lamps. Not now required. Not now required, exactly. 1997. Right, I won't go through those. I think let's go to the next box. Right, this next box looks like it's just rubber hoses. Lots of rubber hoses. Miscellaneous. That was obviously specifically for something, isn't it, that one? Okay. Rubber hoses. Let's put those back. Let's have a look at these 2 boxes here. Now this really does like something you'd find at Bewley, doesn't it? It's all manner of random. That's a pedal. That is a thing. The clamps on a thing. I don't know what. Looks like window winder mech. This is obviously the heavy parts tray. I've no idea what that lot is. Some kind of cover plate. All quite useful for somebody, but not for me, because my car won't have any doors. Anyway, about this box. What's that say? Front axle, front springs. These are some kind of spark plug tubes. I think they go through a hole in the side plate. Fibre plastic washers. This is a whole box of Bakelite fragments, which can come in handy sometimes. Rubber. That is quite a patch, isn't it? Bit bigger than I found in my bicycle repair kit. Bearings, wheel bearings maybe. Anyway, lots of big stuff in there. Right, I think we're on the final furlong. Let's look at some of this stuff over here. More jars of miscellaneous clips and bits. Gaskets. This is not really, this is the contents of somebody's entire garage, isn't it? O-rings, all manner of bits of, looks like a doorstop. I think it is. All sorts of rubber things, rubber seals. This is obviously the rubber department. Here we have, don't know what that was. In here, I've actually got a set of pistons. Oh, quite nice, aren't they, those? Quite nice pistons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rings. The engine's already got pistons in it, so I don't know whether these are spare or quite what. Ah, wheel discs. Big wheel discs. I don't know what that's off. No idea. And a much smaller one. What are they? Oh, these are spare links. You can make them longer, can't you? Derby Bearings Limited. Battery cable. Big wheel discs. Little wheel discs. Drinking chocolate. Spokes. Okay. Right, moving swiftly on. Right, some final large bits. 2 rocker covers. This plate here. I think this is the plate where all these spark plugs go through these holes. So go and grab one of those things. Then just go through there like that. Won't push it through. All manner of couple of dampers, rear dampers maybe. Parts of the bodywork trim. This massive bracket here, that is the front wing mounts. Don't have that. The front wings come with it, but they're not here. So yeah, lots more bits, and actually there's still some more stuff to collect. So there you have it. I've got a load of parts. I've got enough parts for a stall at Bewley. I've got a big space in the workshop, so all I need to do now is go and get the chassis. But if you want to see that, you'll have to tune in next time. So if you like that, please hit like. If you want to see me go and get the chassis and see how the adventure unfolds, hit subscribe. Please do leave me a comment. I try to respond to all comments, particularly if you know anything about the mountain of parts that I've got. But for now, thanks for watching.